Talk to me about Benjamin Netanyahu. Peace talks, of course, we're seeing those, the talk of those with Iran. There's been quite a lot of activity by the military, the Israeli military. And we've had some comments too from US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken visiting Israel and criticising settlement expansion. Give us your view.
Yeah, so I thought Blinken was just going through the motions there. I mean, the purpose of his visit really was solidarity with Israel, and the Biden administration is really embracing Netanyahu. I mean, they're saying the normal things about two-state solution and don't expand settlements. Netanyahu is an amazing political leader. I've interviewed him many times. He gave an astonishingly effective interview with CNN the other day, and he said, look, there are a few people who've said some weird things in my coalition, but be assured I'm in charge and I'm going to govern exactly the same way I have the last 10 years. I came back to office to do three things: to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, to extend the peace process with Arab neighbours, and to boost the economy. And he pointed out that he has 4 peace treaties with Arab neighbours, and in the history of Israel before him, there were only 2, I presume, with Egypt and Jordan, and he has now 4 with surrounding neighbours. So, I mean, I used to think, and I still do, that Netanyahu really ought to retire because, you know, Israel has to move on from the Netanyahu era. But Netanyahu has attacked Iran's weapon-making facilities, which means that they are less able to provide support to Russia. And he is determined that Iran won't get a nuclear weapon. And he is the master of Israeli politics once again. And although he was, you know, a close cooperator with Trump in the good things that Trump did, very critical of Trump in the bad things, he's now on good terms with his old friend Joe Biden. I mean, he is a very wily, effective leader, Benjamin Netanyahu.
All right, just quickly, US politics. As we know, we're a year and a half away from a presidential election, but they do the dance of the 7 veils there for months and months and months. Donald Trump's already announced he's going to run. Ron DeSantis, the governor in Florida, we expect him to run. He hasn't announced yet. But Nikki Haley, former governor of South Carolina, Trump's ambassador, of course, to the UN, her name's been thrown around today. What do you make of a Haley run?
Well, she's a very good person. You know, my household has a little bit of a bias in favour of Punjabi candidates. You know, we used to back the governor of Memphis. I just can't remember his name for the minute. But America has a terrific record with Indian state governors. You know, they've had 2 now of Indian extraction. You know, we think America is racist. It's had a black president, a swag of Asian American governors. She's a very fine person. I would be surprised if she ultimately got there, but she has all the experience. She was a state governor. She was the ambassador at the United Nations, so she's got the domestic policy and the foreign policy. In the end, I think I would be surprised if she finally made it to president, but she's a very fine person and she is the sign of the Republican bench. They've got a lot of talent, and a sign also that Republicans are reaching out, you know, both incidentally and intentionally to ethnic minorities in America.
We'll watch it closely. We've run out of time. Greg Sheridan, thank you for catching up with us tonight, particularly in relation to your good friend, Cardinal Pell.